Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you're watching me from. Welcome to Sidat HR Digest, brought to you by Sidat Consult Limited. You're welcome once again. If you just join us today, we are going to have a very interesting discussion. So, wherever you find yourself, please log on to our various social media handles and stay tuned for an interactive session. If you just join us for so that we can acknowledge your presence. Wondering what Sidat Consult Limited is all about? Sidat Consult is made up of strong and dynamic human resource management professionals committed to providing innovative, tailored, and practical HR solution under sustained and excellent service delivery. Our team has a combined experience over 20 years providing HR solutions in the area of recruitment and talent acquisition, staff and HR outsourcing, training and development, salary benchmarking, compensation, performance management, and general advisory services. We partner with you to transform your human resource capability into a business growth and productivity. Wondering where you can find us? Please, wherever you find yourself, looking for HR Sedat Consult, you can find us at Ashaman Roundabout off the Michelle Camp Road near the GCB Bank. You can also log on to www.sedatconsultlimited.com or send us an email at info@sedatconsultlimited.com or reach us by phone by 0244 9245 or 055 088 3936. Sedat Consult, your trusted HR partner. Thank you for joining us. So I have here with me Michael from Michael Kusi watching us from Nkoko, Quill, Eastern Region. Michael, you are welcome to Sedat HR Digest. I also have Jennifer watching us from North Legon. You are welcome. So if you just tune in, you are welcome again. And today we'll be having a fruitful discussion on creating a productive work environment. Once you are in an environment, there should be a very productive environment. So today we are blessed to have a wonderful resource person. I believe with Sedat HR Consult, you can trust us for nothing but the best. So today we have in our midst an HR industrial relation practitioner, HR management, and alternate dispute resolution professional. She's by the name Esther Fafami and is accomplished professional in industrial relation, human resource management, and alternate dispute resolution. She has built a diverse career dedicated to fostering harmonious and productive workplaces. Her expertise lies in navigating labor relations, implementing effective HR strategies, and resolving disputes through mediation, negotiation, and arbitration. Additionally, she is a member of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Practitioners and has earned recognition as a listed mediator with the National Labor Commission. In terms of education and certification, she is an appropriate dispute resolution professional, executive master, appropriate dispute resolution from the University of Virgin Island and Game ADR Institute. She holds an MBA from the MBA in Human Resource Management from Central Business School, Accra. She's a certified trainer, Institute of Small Industry Extension in India, and she also holds a degree in education, accounting option from University of Education, Winnipeg. On this wonderful introduction, I take the honor to introduce our guest speaker for today, our resource person for today. Let's welcome Esther as we delve deeper into our discussion here. So I have Esther. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, everyone, wherever you are watching us from. It's my pleasure to be with you. Anytime I am called to discuss our career as HR people, I'm so enlightened because it's an opportunity for all of us to learn, to share ideas. I want us to
Thank you
be
very much.
engaged.
Wow.
I want us to be engaged in this discussion, contribute, ask questions. If we are learning together and questions are asked, we are in a better position to discuss it together, to contribute together so that we learn. We know that our work is a difficult one as HR practitioners. So this type and kind of engagement will help us to do our work better, to equip us to be able to let our voices be heard at the ESCOM table. So you are welcome, and I am elated to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. So we'll delve deeper into our conversation today. And I also like to acknowledge Seidu, who just joined us. He said, great program. Eric Yaboa in Accra. Edith Gate, live from Cape Coast. And we have Victor Owusu. He said, great to be here. So today we'll be having a wonderful discussion, creating a productive work environment, which is a key for every employee to try in an organization. So today we have Esther. Esther is an industrial relations expert who is going to guide us in this discussion. So, Esther, before we start, I want to ask what defines a truly productive work environment? Is it all about output and efficiency, or there are other essential elements? So, I begin the
Thank
floor
you.
with that.
Thank you very much. Your name is Ampa, eh? What's your name? My
Eben,
moderator.
or
Eben.
Eben. Yes, please.
Okay, the true caller on my phone always give me Ampa something. So
That's
that's how
fine.
I've identified you.
That's
Thank you.
fine.
Today's topic or subject of what we are discussing, when you add it to what I listened to last week, this time when Vera was delivering, I don't know how Seda does it. It's aligned with it so well. I remember very well last week Sunday, even if I didn't take anything away, I knew that the resource person mentioned that recruitment or selection or adding a new person into our environment is like giving birth. That the recruitment is what do we call it? A birth canal. So I am going to add that when you have given birth to your baby, which is the new person we are adding to our team, what are the environment that we prepare for that person to grow well, to be able to grow without sickness, so that his brain will be developed well. He'll be able to develop crawling at the crawling time, will be able to stand up at standing time, will be able to speak at speaking time. So that at the end of it all, we'll develop a holistic individual that will add to our family, that will add to our community, that will add to our nation, and for that matter, add positively to the world as a whole. So when we say a productive work environment, it goes beyond outputs and efficiency. It's about engaging an individual or creating an environment for the individual or teams or people in the organization to thrive and contribute very well to the organization. We all gather together to work towards achieving an organizational or business objectives or goals. So how do we do that? To create a productive environment, what do you do first? One, you have to collaborate, because we have accountants in that environment, we have auditors there, we have sales people there, we have human resource people there, we have production people there, we have marketers there, depending on what environment or what work we are doing, either production or service. We have different kinds of people there. And we should know that we are all interdependent. We are all working towards one objective. So what do we do to create an environment for all of us to be productive? We have to collaborate with each other. And how do we do that? And we communicate. You cannot assume anything that you think that Esther should be able to say this, know this, and do this. We have to communicate very well. So we have to make sure that we have open communication, open door that will foster collaboration among the team members. It is very, very important. So take note, we have to collaborate and communicate very well so that we all know what we are working towards. Secondly, what else? Our well-being, the individuals that work there, they are human beings, they have emotions, they have mental attitude, and they have psychological attitude. So they have families that depends on them. Even those who are not married yet have their mommy, father, they have their siblings, they have their friends. So the individual that we are working with, we have to make sure that their well-being is taken care of. We prioritize their physical, their emotional, and mental well-being. If you do that, then you are giving the person a holistic state to be able to contribute towards the achievement of the organizational goal. Then they are communicated to, they collaborate, and their well-being is taken care of. The hotness, continuous learning. And today, our environment or our world is changing so rapidly. So if you don't develop learning opportunities for your team members, you are not creating a productive work environment. So every individual, on personal level and on organizational level, we should create continuous learning opportunity for people to be able to learn and understand their roles better. Other than that, we'll be out of the business, because one thing we all know as HR professionals and business people or the working class is that the only thing that is the competitive advantage for every organization is its people. So if we don't collaborate well, if we don't communicate, if our well-being is not taken care of, if continuous learning, we are not prioritizing continuous learning, we'll be out of the business. So for a short, that is what I think, or I know by practice, how to create a working environment. Even if you want to give me a target, you have to communicate it clearly for me to know that as an individual, as a Ame, this is my target towards achieving the organizational goal. After you giving me my target, you have to follow through collaborating with me, giving me continuous feedback to let me know that I am on track or I am not on track. So if it is learning or training I need, I know what to do. And you also help me as a manager or HR department to be able to achieve my target objective. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Esther. It says that for a productive environment, it involves collaboration, communication, well-being, and continuous learning. That is key for creating a productive work environment. Esther, how do leadership style influence productivity within a team? We are looking at leadership, the head. How do they influence productivity within a team? Are there any specific approach that tends to foster higher productivity?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, who is doing that communication? Is the team leaders, the managers,
Yes, please.
the HR manager, the general manager, the CEO. That is the leadership. The leadership is not only the CEO or the management team, from the supervisor to the last management team member, we need to communicate clearly the objectives that we have set for ourselves. Do we do that quarterly? Do we do that yearly? Do we do that monthly? People even do, especially manufacturing or production people, every morning or every shift change, you have to clearly communicate the targets for the shift, the targets for the day, the targets for the week, for the month. If we do that continuously and communicate as leaders, clearly let our people understand the expectation we have of them so that they'll be able to work towards it. Apart from communicating that, how do we go about the rest of the work that we do or our management of our people? Do we cherry pick discipline? Do we even have them? Do we have policies? Remember, the laws of Ghana or the labor law that regulate the relationship between management and workers says that it's the duty of the employer to create a conducive working environment. Have we created that as leadership? It is the duty of the employer to Provide logistics. Have you provided that logistics? People need PPEs to work with. Have you give that? That's a leadership role. Supervision, that's leadership role. Providing of raw materials. I need a car to move around as a salesperson. That's the leadership role. And if we go back to the various leadership roles that or leadership management styles that we all know, which one are we using? Is it an autocratic? What I say is final, and nobody has the right to make any inputs. That may not augur well in this environment today, global environment today. Is it democratic that every individual in the organization has the right to say whatever he she is thinking that will help us work better, that will help us achieve our organizational goals? Is it a transformational leadership style the person is using? Is it transactional? Is it situational? Day by day, as leadership, we should be evaluating and appraising our style, leadership styles, so that we will be making amends and adding and subtracting to make sure that we create an environment that the individual team members will be able to work well and will get the best out of them. So leadership style is very, very important as far as the impact of productivity in our organizations is concerned. So are we even training our managers? Are we even training our leaders to be able to produce or do their work well? No. People even just promote people to management and supervisory level just because they've been there for a long time. Not that they have the skills and the abilities to work. That would be very, very unfortunate and will draw every organization or every team back that promotes people without merit these days. So if you think the person merited because of long service, train the person. Make sure that the person acquire the right skills to manage the team and create an environment that the individuals that are working under him here will be able to strive and work well. Because mind you, if people are disturbed, if their well-beings are not taken care of, if their managers are not being managers, the right managers, people will even lose their talent. Because there's a cliche we always say that people leave managers and not their jobs. Because if the person is a salesperson, he can leave company A and go to company Z and still be a salesperson. So it's the manager he's leaving, not his job. So leadership plays a very, very pivotal role in creating a productive environment in our workplaces. Thank you. Hello. Have I-
Hi, Esther. I unfortunately my net dropped,
Hello.
so I was taken off, but I'm back. I believe you
Okay.
can hear me clearly now.
Yes.
That's the power of technology for you. It can sometimes distract us, but on a positive note. So I'm back. back, guys. You're still watching SIDAC HR Digest, creating a productive work environment. That is what we are talking about. And we have here with us Esther. Esther is a seasoned in human industrial relations expert who is talking to us today about creating a productive work environment. And before my network just took me out, we were talking about how leadership style influence productivity. And I recall her saying that one, communication. How do we communicate to ensure that we achieve the needed output? So I think, Esther, that's where I left you. So if you can walk us through how does leadership style influences a productive work environment?
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were even up, so I was speaking and discussing it with the rest of the team. But let's continue for your sake.
Oh,
I
then
mentioned that.
if you shared it with my people, then
Should I continue? Are you there?
okay. If you've already shared, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. So you can share it with us. If
I mentioned the leadership style is very important. The people we promote into leadership role is very, very important. Do we train our leaders to be able to man their teams and various job roles we've given to them well? Do we assess them to be sure that the role we've given to them is being done or being uh, performed very well? Then I mentioned that we promote people to supervisory and managerial roles at times because they've been on the job or in the organization for a very long time. We can do that. But if we do that, have we trained them to acquire the skills, attitudes, and the expertise needed to be managers so that they'll be able to lead and create an environment that their teams will be able to give of their best for the organization? And I also mentioned the various leadership styles. Some people use the autocratic, some use the democratic, some use the transformational, transactional, and situational. And when, as a manager or supervisor or a leader, for that matter, you are using a leadership style, do you evaluate? Do you appraise yourself? Do you check to see whether the style you are using is contributing or helping your team members to give up their best? And I mentioned that today, I don't think being autocratic as a manager or as a leader will be able to create an environment that will help your people to be productive. So we need to identify the best styles to use at various situational level so that we'll be able to get the best out of our team. As a leader, do you seek the opinions and ideas of your team? They are on the ground. They know how the customer feels. The customer feedback most of the time comes from people on the ground, not people at the top. So as we use the top down, we should make sure that we use the bottom up too, so that at every point in time, we'll be able to gauge the temperature of our team, because one thing we should know is that it's the customers that pay our bills. And if we take care of our internal customers who are our workers very well, they'll be able to take care of our outside customers who bring us the money to pay our bills. So the leadership style is very, very important as far as creating a productive work environment is concerned. So as managers or leaders at various levels in every organization, we have to be able to be conscious of the things we do and change and amend due to the situations at hand at every period in time. Thank you.
wow, wow, thank you very much. Leadership is very key in creating a productive work environment. It's not just about the length of stay you have stayed in an organization, but it's about the leadership roles and leadership styles that you have imbibed in that will help. So we have Edith also joining us from Crypto. Please, if you have any questions, you can comment in the comment section on our various social media platforms, and we would read it out for our guests to give you a response. So please take note on that. So we are still talking about creating a productive work environment. And we're also looking at what does technology impact in productivity in the workplace. Are there strategies to maximize its benefit without overwhelming distraction. So we are now looking at technology impact into a productive work environment. How does it play in there?
Thank you very much. It's one of the most important things today. Technology today is serving as a catalyst for productivity in the workplace, whether we like it or not. Even in our kitchens today, those of us who are career women, if use technology and we are cooking fast, we don't grind things now, we use blender, we use a lot of things. For me, I'm a typical local lady, so apart from blender, the microwaves and the others, I don't want to use them because of
Wow.
my little learning I've learned. So apart from blender, even at times I try to grind small. One is an exercise because these days we are so sedentary. So technology is very, very important today. A well integrated technology will help our system, our ecosystems to work very well. The repetitive tasks that we do, especially even HR today, the leave management, the absenteeism, the marking of register, all that. We've employed clocking systems that we can even print our attendance book anytime, a whole lot of it. So that's what technology today is very, very important. So those of us who are lacking behind, we have to hurry up and make sure that we use technology that to facilitate and help us to support our work and perform work better. It will also improve communication and collaboration. These days, if you have a intranet, you are in your office, you don't move around, you just pick a telephone and you call and things are done. You send memos into the system and everybody gets it at the same time. You send emails and it's gone. This enhances efficiency and streamline processes. I can't give one memo out, then I paste it on the notice board. Then the night shift people say we didn't see it, or we came at 10 and that place there was no lighting, so we couldn't read. It's in everybody's mail. We come to meetings, the action plans that we've drawn is sent to everybody at once. Then our work is more efficient. Us as HRs, a lot of the self-serve things that we can use technology for our workers, somebody can be at his desk and send a leave request. So we will just work on it in the system and send it, and everybody knows that Esther is going on leave at this time. So I think it's very good. It enhances productivity, it influences productivity, it's making us leave the repetitive and administrative tasks, and we are now focusing on strategic HR planning, not marking attendance, checking that somebody is absent, we following people to hospital or checking medical and those kind of things. No, 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 no. We have to use technology to enhance productivity. It's very, very important. There are a lot of tools today. Look at WhatsApp. You can be, your team members can be on one WhatsApp. All let's say HR department people, we are all on WhatsApp. When you sleep in the night and you wake up and you remember something, you just type it straight into the WhatsApp. By the time anybody wakes up, even before they get to the office, they know that this is what is happening, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to take care of, or these are the responses from some action we've taken already. Look at Zoom and Google Meet. Look at how we are doing now. I am at Adenta and you are at wherever. I don't even know your destination. But we are interacting through technology. Isn't it productive? People do conference calls. People do a lot of meetings that facilitate our jobs. So those of us who don't know how to use these tools, it is time we learn it and master it.
Very.
So it's very, very important, and because it enhances our productivity. So technology is very, very important. I just learned about one, I think yesterday or 3 days ago. They call it Slack. They say it's a channel-based messaging something. I haven't grasped it very well, but by the end of this year, I should find one weekend and learn how the Slack also works, because I can use everything except it. I can use Skype, the the Zoom, the Google Meet, I do everything except the Slack. I just met it whilst I was talking to somebody, I think Friday. So it's very important we try to learn all those technological tools so that we'll be able to be more productive than we are. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, wow. If you are not abreast with technology, please, as an HR professional or practitioner, please try and stay abreast to the latest trend in terms of technology that will help you maximize and have a productive work environment. So we'll look at work-life balance. Now it is very key. Stress everywhere. How is work-life balance affecting your productivity?
Oh, my moderator is off again. But let me be adding a little if the rest of us can hear me. To even harness
Life
the technology.
balance companies promote
His network is not being. Okay, for I want to add a little to the technology being an influencer to productive or productivity. We have to set clear goals and priorities for that. We have to train our team members. We have to implement or deploy tools that are very good that will help the particular things that we do. We encourage people to learn it, and if need be, maybe provide data for people to learn it, and make sure that we establish policies or formulate policies around it so that people will not abuse it. It's very, very important. Let our teams also be abreast with the technologies. We wouldn't leave them behind. Train your team, encourage them to be part of the technological advancement that we are in today. Then seamlessly we can all grow together and achieve why we gather around the organization. Is my moderator back now?
Hi, Esther.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. I can hear you.
Okay. So sorry, technology once again. So we are looking at work-life balance. And my question was, how crucial is work-life? Yes.
Very, very crucial.
My next question would have to be with work-life balance.
Okay.
Work-life balance. How can company promote this work-life balance effectively? Productivity?
It's work-life balance is very, very important. I cannot carry myself to your workplace or your organization or to my work position if I am not fine emotionally, if I am not fine mentally, if I am not fine psychologically, even at times financially. It's one of the reasons we have the staff loans, salary advances there to take care of emergencies that will help our people's minds settle on their roles. These things have to be very, very conscious. Even in some organization, you see that organizations sign up for gym and exercises for people to go to exercise and train so that their physical bodies to be in a right condition for work. Is very important. The well-being is very, very important to sustain productivity. When we think about or work on our well-being, it will improve our job dissatisfaction. You get up, you are fine. It reduces burnout, stress, enhance focus and creativity. Well-being is very important. So these days, when we have the conferences, when we have the seminars, when we have the workshops, when we have the trainings, what do we eat? You go to training programs and what you see there is what? We go there, there is tea, there is coffee, there is cocoa. Even scarcely before you see cocoa, this Western breakfast, and we drink and we go and sit down with a samosa, with a spring roll, with all the pastries, and we drink and we go and sit down. Then a little they'll bring us snack, a little we'll go and eat lunch, and we come back. We'll just be eating and sitting down. The whole, if it is 3 days, if it is 5 days, without checking what that will cause to our well-being. So for me these days, when we are going for training, I don't eat a lot of things. And I even, if it is me organizing it for my team members, we talk about it. Some fruit juice, we don't do pastries. Even the last time we went, we eat twice, the breakfast and we eat the lunch around 3 and we close because we can't be eating and sitting down. The kind of foods our mothers and grandparents ate and the kind of job they do were together. But today we can't eat banku and sit down for lunch, and in the evening we eat fufu and go and sleep. It won't help us. So we have to watch our food and what we take in, even the drinks. Then we come back. Do we do constant medical screening? These days, diabetes and hypertension are together. Anybody, if you check, the doctors give us the statistics every day. Anybody that gets diabetes is calling hypertension. Anybody that can get hypertension is calling diabetes, and a whole lot of things. Impotency comes in, and a whole lot of issues with our kidneys, our heart comes in, and we are not being fine, and we are not being productive. So it is a conscious effort we have to make sure that we take care of our well-being and well-being of our teams. Call medical people to come and talk to us once a while, do the screening. When the screening is done and the sicknesses that we might be suffering are seen early, it can be managed on time and in time, and maybe we shall be healed or we can be healed, and the doctors and the dietitians will guide us what to eat and what not to eat. So we have to be sure and make sure that we set up this either quarterly or half yearly. The medical people invite them. Those of us who have the private medical insurance policies, we could add this to our discussion with them, that can you do quarterly or monthly screening for us on the general health issues, so that we know what our well-being is. We can participate in corporate sports activities that these media people are organizing these days once a while, so that we go and participate. Even that connect us, and it makes team cohesion very good or very well, so that you don't need to have to get a resource person to train your team on cohesion. As they go around, they go about these places, they are able to connect because they have to collaborate and work together as a team to win a prize at those competitions. So before they come back, they become friends, and it's working. You are using one stone to kill maybe two birds: team cohesion and bonding, and physical activity that enhances our productivity. So for me, work-life balance is a must. We as individuals we have to work on, and as a corporate organization we have to work on for our organizations. When we do even this, people are motivated. They care about us, they care about our well-being. Then they'll be able to be motivated, so that they will also work well and be productive around us. Thank you. Then another thing we can look at is flexible work arrangements. These days we don't have to always be in the block and cement, or cement and block, to be able to perform. What about at times we work from home, if it will be good for us? At times we can set expectations for the working hours. Oh, this week somebody can work maybe 4 hours instead of the 8, maybe 2 hours instead of the 8. Then another time he works maybe to cover it, so that that culture of breaks, so that people relax and be able to do their work well. Flexible work arrangements is one thing that is setting in very fast due to the COVID-19 experience that we had. So people are preparing in advance. We don't know what tomorrow brings. So those things we have to be bringing it in. Look at the traffic situations in Ghana. So do we have to all be driving towards one direction every morning and another direction every evening? So these things will also give us a work-life balance. Let's think around this, around our organization. What of the things that we can do? Which department can, maybe three people can be at home and working, and we get the right resources for them to be able to work. Because if you are giving somebody a job, you have to provide the data and the laptop, or maybe a good phone for the person to work from home, so that you'll be able to balance that. Oh, he can even be in bed and still working. That day he relax, and you may even get more productivity from him. Last week Tuesday, we went for the HR benchmarking survey launch at the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. And Dr. Kwapo mentioned that those who are using the flexi work arrangements, who are working from home, they are being productive 16% more than those of us who are driving towards work. So why can't we explore those opportunities and see how best it can be good for our organizations? We need to brainstorm around our work schedules and see if we can work something out. Because for you to get to work today in Ghana at 8 o'clock, you have to leave the house around 5 or 4:30. Then when are you getting up and to be getting ready and take care of your family before you move, especially those of us who are mothers? So it's very important we work around this work and life balance issues and make sure that it promotes our productivity. Thank
Wow,
you.
wow, wow. Work-life balance. If I reiterate it again, definitely there's more initiatives to be carried under this to have a productive work environment. And I believe that practitioners listening and also owners of business too are also listening. Work-life balance is very key in this era we find ourselves. It shows that you're a caring organization. So I think as practitioners, we must push for it in our organization. So we're looking at employee engagement and motivation. We believe that they are key to productivity. What initiative or strategies have been successfully been put in boosting these elements within the workplace? Employee engagement and motivation, those two things. What are the strategies that have been put in place, or you have put in place in boosting these elements within the workplace you work with?
Employee engagement, a very, very important metrics for every HR to be looking at constantly.
Hello, Esther.
Not,
You heard me?
yes, yes,
And motivation, yes.
I heard you. Hello, hello, Ebenezer.
Okay, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Uh-huh.
Yes, please go ahead.
Employee engagement is one of the important metrics we have to be looking at every day. It is very, very important because if people are not engaged, they cannot be productive. Like I mentioned earlier, looking last week's presentation and the resource person using the birth canal as an example of giving birth to an employee. What we've discussed from the beginning of this program to now, when all that is in place, people will be engaged. That is one. Engagement is a conscious effort. You won't say that because you have employed people, you have given them tools, so they are supposed to give up their best. Everyday happenings in our personal lives, even in the morning when you wake up and you go ready to get to work, whether you are driving your own car, whether you sit in Uber, whether you sit in trotro or taxi, your mental focus on your job can be altered before you get to the workplace. And if you are not careful, it can disorient you that whole day. So we need to put conscious efforts in place to engage people. And those of us in the HR space who attend and read a little about what we do and know what we do, we know that it's only 20% of our team members, and statistics has also shown that only 20% of our team members gives 80% of results. So if statistics shows that 20% who are engaged can be very productive, then we have to work towards the engagement of our team. If you check their well-being, you are conscious of that. If your team leads, the supervisors are on their teams, the right objectives are set, supervisory roles are performed very well, teams are tracked, everybody is doing what it's supposed to do, logistics are in place, people will be engaged. Then the job satisfaction will be at the highest note. Then you'll be able to retain your right talent and your top talent. Then this will enhance creativity and innovation. Culture is very, very important. What culture have we built around our workplace? One thing that drives productivity and employee experience in every organization, one is leadership and culture together, and I call them one because either consciously or unconsciously, is the leadership that build the culture. If people are being motivated, people their salary is due, you pay them. People need salary increase, you give it to them. If you don't have, you tell them why this can't be, because one, every employee or worker knows that they are in that environment to create and share. So if you share relevant information and tell them that because of ABCD, we can't get a salary increment this time, but tomorrow we'll get it, or next time we'll get it, and next time the parameters you set, you make sure you follow and you build trust, people will be engaged. Culture, leadership, and trust is very, very important. Build trust among your team, between you and your team as leadership. When you do that, people will be motivated, people will be engaged. Then it will improve their job that they do for you, because if they are not engaged, they will sit behind their laptops and their computers and listen to news and play games and do their lotto and listen to lots of things, and they are not working. People can even, those who do production, they can reset their own production levels on their machine and tell you it's the machine that is making the whatever, because the machine can't speak. You go, instead of seven products per minute, it's doing three and two. They are doing go slow, but there's no evidence. But if the person is engaged, the person is motivated by you, there is a trust from team and the management. It's very important. One thing too we should know as managers, if we are here, is that at times we are at a difficult situation because you are manager. There are things you are not happy with. You know that you are supposed to give PPE to your team. You don't have that. They have overtime payments overdue. They haven't been paid. You follow up. Instead of you to balance yourself and act as a manager to get your team still engaged. Oh, Mikoyo, one farm money. I've been there. They didn't give it to me. These people, that people. Who are the people? You are disencouraging them. You are disengaging them from work. You are taking yourself out of it. But my friend, if it's poor, we all spoil together. But if you encourage them, you let them understand the difficulties, you play that managerial role and carry them along. And at the same time, speaking to managers or your CEO or the people who are at the top that are supposed to help you help them proactively and let them understand the difficulties in you managing your team. You'll be able to carry through, and that phase two will pass. Because our role today, when you solve this challenge, tomorrow another one will come. So you have to equip yourself with management skills and having difficult conversation skills to be able to manage between your teams and your management people or your top management. So it's very, very important to keep our teams engaged and motivated so that they'll be able to produce. What do you do to do this? Employee and recognition programs. When people do their best thing, you will recognize them, give them plugs, give them these brochures. They go to shop at Melcoms and China malls and things. You give them feedback on their performance and evaluate it. Once a while, take them out for team building activities and social events. Then flexible work I mentioned earlier is also part that will help people to be engaged and they will be motivated to do better. It's very, very important. Do you have professional development opportunities that you give to them, either online or you let them enroll in educational institution, you pay for it just to encourage them, that just to motivate them, especially your top talent, so that tomorrow when you are doing your succession planning, you know who to put at what place. So engagement is very important to keep your people motivated. It's very, very important. It's a conscious effort we have to do. Some of us, what do we call it?
Wow.
Learning or training budget is very difficult to come by in Ghana. But I bet you it's one of the very important things we need to do as executives and HRs to push so that our people, once in a while, they get off the job and go and learn something new. And make sure you follow up to evaluate your training and see the impact. And you get it. These days, they say it's the data and the statistics that is showing. Then you'll be able to get a data to prove so that tomorrow you'll get another opportunity to get them out so that they'll get engaged. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you very much. Questions have started dropping, and we have Sylvester says, I'm watching you guys from Walter Barracks. You're welcome to Sibat HR Digest. If you just joined us today, we're having a discussion on creating a productive work environment, and we are blessed to have Esther. Esther is a seasoned industrial relation expert and also an arbitrator with the National Labor Commission, who is sharing on us how to create a productive workforce. So we have a question here from Jennifer. It also syncs with what I wanted to ask my next question. So I would throw more light into Jennifer's question. It says, how can HR create a productive work environment when we are moving towards remote work system? How can productivity be enhanced with this system? So if you are, this is my question, but it's synced with hers. So I'll just want you to answer that.
Remote work or virtual work, is that what you are talking about?
Yes, please.
Eben,
Yes, please.
okay. It's very, very
Yes.
just like what we do face to face. When somebody is working remotely, what is he working on? Have you set the right, is it OKRs they call it, target objective key performance indicators? Have you set it? So if I'm working from home daily, what am I supposed to give back?
Key jobs
Weekly,
objective.
what am
Yes.
you have to set a right objective for somebody who is working remotely and follow up on the person to see whether he is just in the house doing something else or working. Today, you can follow up on people's output if you have the right technological tools. The last time I went to the Accra shopping mall to go and buy something, I entered the shop. I wanted to buy slippers that I love. It just attracted me, you know, we women and impulse buying. So I started the bargain. The girl says it's a shop, there's no discount. I said, no, if I won't get discount, I won't buy. So I was leaving. Then she called back. Then before I said Jack, I saw her on her tablet. She was typing. Before I said Jack, video call or so came in. Then I was asked to speak to somebody else, not knowing the person was in America. The shop owner was in America, but monitoring her shop in Ghana. So if you have the right technology, so I was able to negotiate or bargain with somebody I am not in touch with physically. And I got a good price and I bought it and I left. So that woman is able to monitor her shop in Ghana. So if you employ or deploy the right technical tools, you'll be able to set goals for a virtual person and monitor it and assess the person. Then you are good to go. So the tools is very, very important. So we have to make sure that we have the right tools before we deploy the virtual workspace. The technology guys know best. So if you want to do that, to contact them, your IT team, or even a outsource one to speak to you. You discuss the objective you want from that employee. Then we set the parameters and how they will do the deliverables. And I think that can be done. That can be done. I remember some time ago, I was on the
Wow.
hospital bed for about, I think, 6 weeks. My assistants get to me on WhatsApp, on conference call. We draft letters together. I sent it to her. He does the delivery. I tell her, so you draft it. Let me see. I do the editing and send it back to her. So working virtually today, if you are conscious, you have to be able to do it. If you are not IT savvy, learn it gradually like I am doing, and make sure you use the resources of the IT department in your workplace. Then they will be able to set it. If you don't have it, you look for it and learn and set it. Target is very important. If the person knows that this week, these are my deliverables, and you track, supervise. We all know as HR people that things that we don't supervise is not get done. So you supervise and make sure that you, if it is the person is not working the right way, you discipline. That's why we are here. Be disciplined. Then we are good to go.
Thank you very
I
much.
hope
So we have
I've
Charles
made the.
Quayson also watching.
Hello.
You have done well justice to the question for us. You have done justice to the question for us. Thank you very much. I
Thank
have Charles
you.
Quayson from watching me from Accra. Jennifer says thank you very much. I have Safia Muhammad says, well done, guys. So, my last question before you give your final words, you know that creating a productive work environment, performance management is broad. Giving
Mm.
feedback, evaluating are very key in ensuring a productive work environment. So, my question to you is that what role does feedback and performance evaluation play in maintaining a productive work environment? How can they be optimized for maximum effectiveness?
As for feedback, there is no way we can delete it from our things as HR people, as team leaders, even as an individual workers. Feedback is very, very important. One, because objectives have been set and we have been given a role to perform as individuals. That runs into our teams as teams, that runs into the organization as what we are achieving as an organization. So if Ebenezer has set an objective for me as his team lead, my team lead, and he's not following me up to tell me, oh Esther, we are supposed to start at 3:45, but today you started at 5 minutes to 4. That is not good enough. If there is problem, if there's technical issue, we can't sort it before we get out, and this will affect our delivery. So tomorrow or next week, make sure you come by 3:45. I have a feedback that what I've done or what the way I started the role today wasn't good enough. So next time I'll work on it. If that is a feedback, good feedback. If I haven't worked on it next time, then maybe a query for me official to answer. It's very important. For me, I don't say things more than 3 times. The next one I have to give you query because in our community and our culture, we are lazy fair people. So if we are not cool, we will not do the right thing. And once again, people around the team, some of them are very proactive. So if you don't deal with those who are slacking, they will pull the top performers to back and will all go into the ditch. So feedback is very important. Let them know where they are. If you are doing well, encourage them, tell them you are on top, but add more room for improvement. Do this, then we are increasing. Those who are lacking, you pull them one, two, three, they are not pulling, you pull the disciplinary to them, then they also sit up. So feedback is very, very important. And once again, why feedback is also important is that in our organization, we are all interdependent. We are working towards one goal. So if you give me you give me feedback, so oh, it's because George, who is able, who has the what do we call it? The role to make sure that I did the dry run. Is that how you call it? To make sure that my computer, my system, and everything is right. Didn't come to do it. That is why I was lacking. Then the job to his feedback will be given to him. Then he also sit up. So we all work collaboratively. So without feedback, we cannot work well. Without feedback, we cannot be productive. I am somewhere doing my thing. That is, he is somewhere doing his thing. He is somewhere doing his thing. We are not collaborating well. We are all lacking because before we say Jack, by half year we haven't achieved anything. By the close of the year, nothing is done. Then meanwhile we are asking for maybe salary increase or bonus. Apart from that, even if you don't ask, what about competitors? They'll take businesses away from me. My personal values is what I use always. If I come to buy your thing and you are not beside your ways, I won't buy. You are not selling. So if we lose our customers to our competitors, then we rather not be in business. So it's very important to give feedback, to pull every team member along, to make sure that we collaborate and strategically position ourselves as teams, as individuals, as an organization to work towards our objective very well. If your people don't know how to give feedback, train them, give them tools to do it. These days, we are all moving from the manual. So if it's a system, HRI system you need to employ or deploy to make sure that people are giving the right feedback at the right time. Today, nobody follows performance half yearly. By the time you get to June, July to give your feedback, the harm has already been done or caused. But if by end of January, you know that, oh, where we are going, we can't achieve what we set up to achieve by quarter, you pull them. By the time you say, Jack, you achieve your quarter, then you achieve your half yearly, then 3 quarters before you say, Jack, you are performing above expectation. So feedback is very important for every organization if you want to be productive and make sure that you achieve your aims and goals. Now that he's not back, continuous feedback also give people or provides them the real time insight into performance. You are not doing well. So let's do this, let's do that. Then the challenges we identify and work on it and we are good to go. And when you are back, so I'm done. I was waiting for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been
My pleasure.
a wonderful discussion, and I've really enjoyed myself. For those who just joined us today, we had Esther, who is taking us through creating a productive work environment. But before we draw down the curtains, Esther, your final word to us HR practitioners and to AV managers or directors or CEO watching us, your final words.
Well, one thing we should note is that we have to remember productivity is not about just performing tasks. You have to foster a culture of collaboration, culture of growth and well-being of the people. Collaboration, growth, and well-being of your people. You prioritize open communication. You support your employees through their learning and development. Healthy work-life balance, like I've mentioned, is very important. Without it, you can't create a productive work environment. And know that feedback is very important and should be all ongoing and in real time. It's very, very important. Embrace change and adapt to evolving needs of your organization. And celebrate people who are doing well. Then we are good to go. Try to know that everything is changing. So we have to be ready to be changing and adopting new technologies and new measures to achieve productivity. I'm grateful you listened to me and thank you for your attention. Hello, Eben.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Esther. It's been a wonderful discussion, and we were so blessed to have you today. So, those who missed out, you can still go to our various social media handles and just click on. You'll have a recording to listen and learn and imbibe into it and do best at your workplace. So, thank you so much, Esther. And we look forward to having fruitful discussions with you next year. So, to everybody who just joined us today, we'd like to say thank you very much. Afisha to everyone, Michael, Jennifer, Seidu, Eric, Edith, Zachariah, Sylvester, Charles, Sophia, Eric, and Dakon. We say Afishapa to you all. From we all at Sidat Consult Limited, your trusted HR partner, we say thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Afishapa, 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 my enemy. Pay Namilo, meet next year. Picking for me at Togo. Bye.
Bye.
Governor, I spoke away, don't mind me.